All right, Senator Morrell, you next. You want to rest, Senator Peterson, a minute?
I rise in opposition to this bill. I'm sure many of you already know that, but I'm really coming down today because there is a line, a vein of rhetoric in this debate which I think is very disingenuous. This is not a pro-life bill, it is a pro-birth bill. And let me be more clear in how I explain that. This legislature has voted repeatedly in support of pro-birth. We, in this legislature, have failed. I'll give you a couple examples. We have failed to repeal or have significant debate on the death penalty. That is a pro-life stance. You can give your rationale as to caveats as to why there should be exceptions to life, but that is a pro-life issue. It's established by almost every religious head in the entire world. That's one example. This is a pro-birth bill in a pro-birth state because we don't legitimately accept or support health care expansion for these mothers having children. Currently, our Attorney General is fighting to repeal the Affordable Care Act with no funded replacement. So we support birth, but we don't support the health care provided for the mother, the health care provided for the children, or health care in general. That has been established. We have people who come here who vilify people on welfare, who in the midst of the debate on how old we should allow children to have babies, make the comment that it's better for them to get married at 10 when they're having the baby than be single. Our fixation is so much on micromanaging the family. Once again, that is a pro-birth stance, not a pro-life stance, because the life of a 10-year-old married to a 40-year-old is not much of a life at all. We are a pro-birth state because there are children currently languishing in foster care, and as a state we've established that we don't want non-traditional families adopting children. So you might have a non-traditional family, and by non-traditional I mean non-traditional by our state's definition, of 2 men or 2 women who desperately want to raise a child who's in foster care, who's getting limited services, limited support. But we have decided as a state we know better than them, so their lives are going to continue to be miserable in the foster care system because we put up hurdles each day to allow for same-sex couples to adopt children and provide loving homes. Pro-birth, not pro-life. I have really struggled through this debate because I think that people are more concerned with how they phrase things than simply saying where they're at. And if you support this bill as a pro-birth bill, please say that and stop misrepresenting that you're pro-life, whether it's for these mothers or for these children.
Senator Morrell, you wish to speak?
I'm going to begin by saying something real simple, Mr. President. I think it's very disrespectful that during that debate people are in the back laughing. Just going to put that on the table. I think that's kind of ridiculous. And I think for people that watch us and see how we act on this floor, when you're having serious debate and people are laughing and joking so loudly that people in the back can't hear what's going on, that's ridiculously disrespectful. I'm going to start with that. Second, and I've spoken to many of you over here who've had your young daughters call and talk to you about the way you're voting. And I've seen many of you when I've come up here and said, the morning after pill's next. And you get in your desk, no, we're not outlawing the morning after pill. Ladies and gentlemen, this bill is a hop, skip, and a jump. This is a bill to so severely restrict a medical abortion. Now, mind you, that is literally one step above a morning after pill. Under current law, we allow for women in situations where they are experiencing a very private trauma and private decision to go to appropriate medical facilities to get appropriate physicians to get a medical abortion. We are now restricting them to the 3 clinics we currently have, which, depending on the fate of the legislation that's been passed nationally, those 3 may cease to exist. With this bill, if they close down those 3 facilities for any reason, women no longer have access to a medical abortion. That is what this bill does. This bill is aimed with the purpose of getting rid of medical abortions as an option. Because if there are no clinics, then there's nowhere to administer said abortions. Like I said, when you go home and you have women from all walks of life, Republican, Democrat, educated and not, and they go, well, this is not going to affect the morning after pill, do not lie to them, because this is the step towards doing that. Like I said, I'm embarrassed today because when I see what's going on in the background during these serious debates, you wonder why the people of the state of Louisiana don't respect us.